What is this? Who did this? Why did they do it? Who greenlit this? Why? What kind of monster would do this? Who thought this was a good idea? Why? Why?
We are back. Welcome to part 2 of our coverage of YezenIrl's Game of Thrones video. This is going to be fun, folks. And yes, this is supposed to be part 2. I put the thing in the accidentally put the wrong number in the chat. I apologize. Hello, Johan. Hello, Space Junk. Hello, Blue Terry Narrations. Allow me to welcome on some of my guests. First off, we have the venerable and always classy
Doing
Asian Yokai Zero. And then we have our always lovable and irascible lupine friend.
The current Wolf Lord of the Space Wolves is Logan Grimnar, also known as the Old Wolf. He rules from the Hall of the Great Wolf, together with his Wolf Lords such as Herald Deathwolf, Eagle Ironwolf, and Bjorn Stormwolf.
All I got out of that was wolf, 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 and wolf.
The Space Wolves are incredibly uninspired.
irascible! Are you kidding me?
You are irascible. It's just a statement of fact.
Wolf, is that like a favorite show of yours? Because I've seen a lot of memes of that in the Discord.
That's if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device for Warhammer 40k. It's a parody series created by Bruva Alphabusa.
Okay.
Well, we also have another lovely guest.
Oh, good. I actually managed to catch you all before we started anything.
We're just getting
started now. We were all about 5 minutes late. we were talking about we were busy talking about like Mario Party and stuff.
Oh, in that case, it's a good thing I missed that because I'm not really into that.
well, but I would agree. Neph, would you say that our wolfy friend is irascible in some ways?
Irascible. I'm not sure I know what that word means.
Easily angered.
It's often necessary to smack him in the face with a newspaper.
Thank you for doing that for me, then.
Alrighty. And we have one final guest.
Please don't tell me.
And we have one final guest. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Wasn't that part of the movie? Wasn't that part staged though? When Mysterio did that?
Yeah, I think so.
That was staged, right? Yeah.
Everything relating to the elementals is staged.
Yeah.
Still
love Mysterio though.
Sorry. Neph, please don't tell me you find me easily angered.
I don't know.
It's a pattern of behavior, dude.
Yeah. Nick Brown brings up a good point. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to, which means we're all on time.
Also, Blue Jay Narration says, "This is the first time I've heard Wolf talk, and that voice coming from that avatar is cracking me up." You don't know what Okay, what did you expect when you saw this avatar?
A cutesy voice.
Like a Patrick Willems voice.
Are you serious?
I don't know, like a 10-year-old boy voice. I don't know.
Also,
That
Neph,
looks
what
like a
anime is
kid.
that for your intro, by the way? Before I
I don't
forget
think
to
I-
ask.
I don't remember. I had it on my watch list, and now
I think
I've
it's Black
lost
Clover
it.
something.
Oh, it's Black Clover?
Yeah, let me find it. I remember looking into this after I looked up Thunder Sprite's Shock.
No, I've seen a little bit of Black Clover a long time ago. I need to restart it.
Okay, it's called it's from Rokuaka.
Okay.
I just looked up Cat Girl. I've never seen any anime besides Inuyasha. And
Out of
he's a dog
curiosity,
boy.
what did you look up for me?
Oh, that was G.I. Joe Sigma 6.
Oh, so you were already familiar with the material.
Yep.
I
That is my favorite move. That is my favorite move from the whole thing. From that whole
That's representative of your that's representative of Ilkai's profile picture. I think I could. You might have been linking my Fate Zero clip.
Yes. Wait.
I think I might know the one.
So
Fate Zero is my favorite show. So.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Do you want the final fight between Kiritsugu and
Yes.
the first?
Kotsumi Kira, yes.
Yay! I love that fight so much.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite fight in anime.
Well, we do need to get going. So we were at 11 minutes, so that's where we are going to start.
And you missed an opportunity to use your new clip.
What new clip?
The one with Dean.
You never.
Oh, so okay. So very quickly, I would like this stream to end by like hour and a half mark, since I've got other things to do. So I'm going to be using liberally this clip if a tangent happens.
House rules, Sammy. Driver picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole.
I use tangent card. Quick, talk about something random.
I love that clip.
I have no idea where that clip is from, to be honest.
It's from Supernatural.
Oh, that's a first. I haven't watched it, but I know the first 4 or 5 seasons are good.
And then it goes into like season. What's it like? Season 10 at this point.
No,
And
yeah, it's pretty long. They get a little too fan servicey because they know most of their audience is 16-year-old girls. So like I used to really like the show, but then they just got a little too much with it. Like when Sam bends over and his ass crack sticks out, I'm like, okay, come on.
What the?
Come on.
What?
Yeah, they do that. They do that at one point.
But why though? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Because
You know, I
wanna
legitimately.
cater to the target audience.
Because they're trying to cater to most of their fan base. So I guess that's their version of when we see anime titties. You still here, Don? Did we lose you?
Yep, I'm still here. All right.
He looks very surprised about something.
Yeah.
He does.
It's like, what the F? What did I lay my eyes upon?
Limits of redemption arcs. But we also have to bear in mind that Martin came up with this stuff in the 90s, well before the internet had developed into what it is today. So we can't blame him for not expecting fans to come to the conclusions that they did. But it's fan entitlement that causes literally 100% of misunderstanding being blamed on the writers.
What? Good Lord.
So if I write something, I'm not responsible for my writing? Is that practically what he's saying?
Fan
That's what it
entitlement.
sounds like he's saying.
Fan entitlement causes all of the problems.
No, it-
really. So there's no
Ugh.
like. So that's kind of an argument for what he said on EFAP, where he says all narrative is subjective, which is like,
yeah.
which that's bull crap. You can assess.
The problem is not with George R.R. Martin's books. The problem comes from Benioff.
because he actively threw out most of the books.
Yes. When Martin said that you'd be able to get at least 2 seasons a book.
Yeah,
somewhere.
like his exact quote was, "Why does it have to end?" Somebody was asking, "Why does it have to end?" And he's like, "I don't know. Perhaps you could have gotten like 12, 13 seasons, but I guess David and Dan just wanted a life."
You mean
By the way, can I?
doing this wasn't their life?
Writing is for life, boo.
Can I just say?
David... Oh, go for it.
Can I just say, Yesen has a very punchable face, it appears. I sort of want to punch him while he's saying it. I sort of want to punch him while he's saying it. I'm just being like, so you don't think people should be responsible for their actions, and you don't think they should be responsible, let's say they do a job poorly. You're telling me they shouldn't be responsible for that? I'm just like, that's not how real life works, dude.
No, it's not. It's really not.
You screw up, you get punished. That's how life works.
Well, you get held accountable, but yeah.
Yeah. Benioff screwed up Game of Thrones. He's not getting any more jobs as a producer.
Oh, he is. He is.
Oh, yes, he is. On Netflix, that $200 million Netflix deal with him and DB.
That's right. But he can't get a job anywhere else, and now Netflix feels as if they have to keep him.
Well, they sort of do have to keep him, and he sort of can't get a deal anywhere else because I believe the Netflix deal is exclusive. And yeah, they're not going to lose $200 million on that. They're hoping they will produce seasons 1 or 2 or 3 of Game of Thrones for like a show that's capable of stuff like that. They won't end up horribly like Game of Thrones. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think I might have said it a bit confusingly.
If you want that to happen, then you need to have someone standing behind him going, no, you cannot go away from the source material.
That's
you need to actually learn how screenwriting works.
Well, this is Netflix. They don't give a crap.
Since he obviously doesn't want to use the how-to books, that means he's got to pay to go to a class.
To be fair, this is Netflix. They don't care. They give sort of deals to everyone.
That's true.
They're actually like becoming like if you kind of look at their trends, they're kind of canceling the like more out there shows and kind of going for more like not like more mainstream ideas.
That is true, and they're really getting into it with the movies. You know, the movies this year have been fantastic to some degree.
Yeah, like the Old Guard and Extraction. I've heard good things about them, but I haven't seen them.
Also, there was another movie that came out. I forget the name, but I really enjoyed it. That came out this year. Can't remember the name for some reason, but I'm sure I'll think of it later.
Was it the Laundry Room?
I mean, The Laundromat, that came out last year, but I really love that movie, but no. Laundromat's a sort of a crappy movie, but sort of a movie I love at the same time. It's like a movie that has lots of bad things to it, but lots of great things to it. Plus, it's hard to hate a movie when you have Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas, and Meryl Streep in it. I mean, how can you hate a movie like that with those people in it? They're just also lovable.
I didn't hate The Laundromat. I was just like, this is just kind of a weirdly constructed movie, and it's a little bit of a mess.
I know the movie I was thinking of. It came out last year. El Camino. That was a fantastic movie, El Camino.
That's because it's Breaking Bad related.
Oh yeah, and can you believe they did that with like a $10 million budget or something like that? Tiny budget for like a mainstream movie, you know. And they got like big. Like Robert Forster. I know they didn't have really any big actors other than Aaron Paul in it, but still. I still love that movie and all Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul things. Those things are... Vince Gilligan's going to go down as one of the greatest writers of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But also, we should probably get back to the video because it's been 15 minutes and we got 30 seconds done.
Also, we went on our tangent.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
House rules, Sammy. The driver picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole.
Done. Want to unpause the video? I mean, if you want, I could pull up this video and be in charge of it if you want.
Is Dud dead or something?
Done?
Done?
Maybe he's having those sour patch straws or something again.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Hang on, let me try something else.
We hear you. I don't know if Dunn's here.
I'm
though.
talking to Dunn.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. So, oh my god, that was
he did die!
Yep, there we
He
go.
did die! Oh, great.
Dud Gashita!
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. Should I pull up the video in the meantime? I think we should probably wait for him.
He's the one in control, so you
Oh,
can
yeah,
share your screen even if you wanted to. So
Actually, I think I might be able to. I don't think so, though. Maybe. Possibly.
No, I don't think you can unless Dun focuses on it.
yeah.
Weird. Anyway, let's hope he gets back and it's not dead.
Oh, this
Who knows,
thing's gone.
You could have hit the leave studio button while I was choking.
Let's see. Peace.
So in the meantime, it's the Yokai, Planetos, Neph, and Wolf show.
Yes, it is.
Sounds good to me.
It doesn't even appear to be online at Discord right now, so that's lovely.
Yeah, quite lovely. He doesn't appear to be online at all. Oh, great.
That's the reason why. He played a clip while sharing a video.
Huh.
But we usually don't have a problem with that.
No, we
He
actually
died now
do.
for some reason. He's recently brought up he can't do that anymore.
Wait, now, don't you remember the School of Movie streams? How whenever he shared...
Oh, yeah.
Don't you remember what he said?
Good God. I think this is simply because he needs a new computer.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
You said it yourself. Don's computer hates it when he does two of anything.
I told him to get off his butt a while ago and just buy the computer that I showed him. Huh?
It can be fun.
Space Junk brings up a pretty good, valid argument. We should just
No. No. If this keeps up, then we might not finish in an hour and a half.
Oh, for sure we won't. For sure.
Oh dear.
But yeah, we should stay to Coop. I'm just saying. If it comes back, I want you all to blame Crow. Crow's responsible for putting this idea in my head.
It wasn't Crow that did that. It was Space Junk.
Okay.
Oh, I should probably check the comments.
Not my fault. Tucker did it.
God.
I wonder if he lost power or something, because you'd expect him to be back by now. Or just think he'll restart the computer.
Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes for him to get back.
Yeah.
One time this did happen while me and him were streaming, it took like 2 minutes, but this has been like 4, so just better to manage it.
Oh, we'll see.
Yes. Hopefully he's back soon.
Well, we're trapped here, so let's start talking about our life stories.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we could go on talking about Benioff, but at this point, I think we'd just be beating a dead horse by now.
Are you sure we can't beat the dead horse further?
I think it's pretty dead, like pretty bludgeoned. We all have blood right now.
I think it's liquid by now. There's nothing else to beat.
And that's just going to be the grass upon which it laid.
Yeah.
But no.
No. Ergo Proxy? I've not heard of that.
Yeah, what? Is that a movie? A television show?
I don't know.
I got no clue what that is. Let's see. Ergo Rock. It's a Japanese animated series that's on Tubi. It looks to be a mini series. because it's only one season.
How many episodes?
23 episodes.
No, that's not a mini series. That's an actual series.
Alright, then it must have gotten canceled. I presume.
Maybe not. Most are either 26 episodes or 13. Sometimes they do it in 25 or less.
I stopped watching Castlevania. I just try getting myself an anime.
I've watched the first season. It's excellent.
Okay,
You're
don't
back. You're not
hello,
dead.
Jan.
There he is.
I thought you choked on your Sour Patch straws.
Did you need to restart your computer or something?
No, it's just that it was like I think like just using any kind of overlay while I'm sharing the screen makes it crash, so I just need to remember to stop sharing my screen. And when that happens.
Yep, that's exactly what Nick said.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just so either I need to get a new computer or I just need to forget.
Listen to Mr. Step. This is the dawn of ages.
Then,
you should build a new computer with me and Lamato's help.
No, I'm just going to purchase one.
Okay.
Wait.
My idea.
Well, it's like I'm sorry, but I just don't have time I have to write. I don't have time
unless you want to game, there's really no point in building a computer, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I guess I could game, like play Battle for Middle Earth, but I could
just
probably just
worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, but that would kind of be the only game I would be playing, and because I don't play anything else.
Yeah.
I don't really play much either, but I still wanted a gaming computer so that I'd have the ability to do a lot if I wanted to.
Yeah, I do have a PC, but that's actually would work really well. It's just disconnected permanently from the internet. I just need to get it fixed so I can use it.
Is there any way you could hardwire it or no?
Oh well, it's kind of just like it's my parents' old PC.
How old are we talking about here?
It's like 10 year, like not 14, 10 years maybe.
Oh wow.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'd say burn it.
Misunderstanding being blamed on the writers. At no point are most people accepting that they might have been wrong about anything. This is because people have projected their own ideas of where the story was headed onto the world of characters and interpreted everything based on those expectations.
No.
Not true.
No.
Yeah, that is very not true.
You're reaching, sir.
So essentially, what he is saying is that we're wrong and the writers are right. He's very much it's a weird combination of discrediting death of the author and accepting death of the author.
How can you do that at the same time?
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But it seems as though that's what he's doing is like the themes of Game of Thrones make it good, which is
my
What the heck? What was that?
It's a literature devil meme. My themes.
Okay, that screamed though. My poor ears. My poor ears.
Fuck your ears.
Don't make me get my newspaper, Wolf.
Get the newspaper.
Good. Okay.
Right.
Do we have anything else to say to this?
no.
Yezen's
pretty
incredibly dumb.
Yeah.
Parting comment.
This is all Benioff's fault, not anyone else's.
Well, yeah, because like he basically by the end he didn't have any writers in his writers group. Like it was just him, his lackey Weiss, and his two former coffee boys.
The nice lackey is Yes Cockboy.
That works too. And it's just like, no, it's like, it's not that this was wrong. Like Benioff has admitted he's bad at long form storytelling. There was no plan put in place.
Yeah, because he has no idea how to plan anything at all.
And he like, not hyperbole, does not know how the basic mechanics of script writing in terms of technicals and formatting works. If you look at his scripts, they don't look like scripts. They look like terrible novels.
Yeah, they do.
You know what? I'd be interested to see what the plan looks like for the season if they make one. I'd be interested to see how it looks.
That implies they just basically put it on a bunch of post-it notes.
God, that's cringe right there. That's so cringy.
Not only is that cringe, but you can lose any one of them at any time. You don't use sticky notes for planning. You do storyboards.
Wait, you assume he's using sticky notes? You pour it. Wait, what would think? Wait, what would you think he's using sticky notes?
At least put it in a document. Like storyboards are good too. But at least put it in like a document. When I'm planning anything out, I put it in documents and I save different. Like I save one and I save it over and over again. Like download it as I move on. So I also have a progression of how I progress. I guess is the word.
Very bold of you to assume that they know how to use Doc.
Very bold of you to assume they know how to use computers.
I've never seen Benioff use a computer, not even a Macintosh.
Yeah. Wait, do they seriously write it? Like write it?
I don't know. I think that they have typed it out since we've seen the Emmys submission clips.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
They know how to type, they just are not good at it, and they just don't understand. They don't know what the basic mechanics are. But yeah, let's keep going.
There's special words to the Google dictionary, or whether it all came up underlined red. But they did. I bet they didn't add it. When you see the script, it's just red.
And all of their just like stupid Her Satanic Majesty's Request, or the utterly asinine like John and Sansa don't know failed geography.
I know you have to get going, but I want to address.
You didn't hear about that, Wolf? That's in the script notes for episode 6.
For what? Or do I want to know?
Oh no, my ears again. My ears.
Wolf, calm down.
But anyway, just a random comment right here. I know Nick Brown's talking about Black Sails. Mark Ryan, who's in the first season of that show, should be Unwind Peak, and if he doesn't become Unwind Peak, I'm gonna riot. In House of the Dragon.
You assume that anybody here other than me knows who Unwind Peak is.
That's also true.
I guess right now, I don't think Benioff knows how to write.
He doesn't.
No, I'm
He's got some very mediocre novels out, but he doesn't know how to write. And they're all one-hit wonders.
I'm gonna say the meme of how he just can't write. Period.
Yeah.
Wait, John. Here's a question: who's worse, Benioff and Weiss, or Unwind Peak?
Unwind Peak is a child murderer, no question.
Oh my god! Wait, what?
Just wanted to make sure.
I think Tywin is worse than Unwind Peak. Unwind Peak's just pathetic.
That's also true. Tywin knows what he's doing. Unwind Peak's like a baby whale, like flailing his hands around. I didn't get my way. I'm going to quit. And like, if you don't give me this, I will resign. We accept your resignation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a dumbass.
Very much. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
maybe he's just a reckless and irresponsible jackass.
Yes.
Also,
you're unhappy with the ending. No, I question your basic writing credentials. This guy isn't a functional adult.
The bold me to assume Benioff ever grew up.
Yep. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I share the audio. Okay.
Basically, I'm saying that people tend to forgive a story that's sloppily done if it gives them what they wanted. But those same people get hypercritical if a story subverts their expectations in a way that
No.
Which
That's wrong.
I feel like that's
That's
I feel like
wrong.
there's-
A lot of you have seen Think Stories of how Game of Thrones should have ended. In this video, Think Story recites his fan fiction of how the story should have played out, abandoning
God.
everything subversive and
fiction's better
instead
than
just
this.
playing out all.
Okay,
I
I've
think
seen.
there's a partial truth here, to be honest. I think. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Go on.
No, you go first. I can.
I think there is partial amounts of truth where fans do get upset if the story they don't like the ending, but it gets very much washed out if the ending is actually good.
Well, part of the reason why people didn't accept the ending was because you didn't follow through with your own build-up. That's ultimately your own responsibility.
That's true. That is true.
Yes.
That is true.
And we
They don't want
mind.
it unless you make them want it.
Yeah, we don't mind having our expectations subverted, but not for the sake of subverting our expectations. That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
like-
reason something like, and I'm sorry, Dunn, but this is kind of on topic. That's why Yoda works in the 5th episode, but not something like what happened in Game of Thrones. Because we still got a great warrior, we just didn't get who we thought we were gonna get.
I can see that. Yeah, no, that's totally allowed. It's fine.
Besides, it was an old
Yeah.
And you know what they say about old men.
I suppose.
No, not a joke. I mean the actual phrase that's used as a praise, that's used as in a positive light towards old warriors.
Yeah.
To me, I think season 8 should have been a mini series because they removed all 7 seasons of build up, and it was like, fuck it, we don't care about that.
Even in its own universe, it's stupid because you
Exactly.
have to, like self-contained. If you just watch season 8, season 8's dumb. Like it's Transformers levels of dumb.
Oh, I brought up
Except it
Transformers
doesn't
in the
have
chat.
all the. Except it doesn't have all the prettiness of the Michael Bay movies.
I like the Travis Knight movie. Bumblebee was fantastic. It was good to have a movie made by an actual fan, and it actually showed because he actually got quizzed on the characters and went into a lot of detail about the G1 characters, which is from like the 80s and stuff. And I was like, get this man more movies for Transformers, please.
And just get this man movies, period. Like most of his output is really good.
And it's funny, he didn't have to do this at all. His father is Phil Knight, the maker of Nike. He could have just went into business, but instead he went into directing. And yes, Leica he got in a silver spoon, but he does a fantastic job with it. The quality has gone up since they bought it, not down.
Damn,
and they don't care if they make money.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah,
no, go on.
Look at what Space Juxet said.
Good stuff, bro.
It's like the. In the head as soon as you step out of your cell. Expectation subverted. 10 of 10. Yeah. No.
Hold on.
I did not see that coming.
So moving.
Yeah, neither did I. But
okay, so moving back to Think Story, he's basically calling out Think Story for like having something bland. I would disagree. That's not bland. I think that like out of all of these season 8 like rewrites, I think that Overlord DVD is the best because he actually like gets some measure of tragedy. Preston Jacobs one is okay, I guess.
It's horrible. I already know it's horrible from not even watching it. I hate Preston Jacobs.
It's better than his theories. He's not crazy. He actually he actually understands narrative structure. He's just weird with his theories.
Expectations subverted.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch it and be like, gonna be like, that's really actually smart, or I'm gonna be like, that's stupid. That's really stupid.
Alrighty. We can watch that one. It's 20 minutes per thing. It's like 20 minutes per thing. Preston Jacobs, how season 8 should have ended. He does 20 minutes per episode, so it's about
2 hours.
An hour.
About 2 hours.
No, an hour and
3
20
hours.
minutes.
So
it should be an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, exactly. 2 hours.
It's like, do you not know how to math?
Oh, I was just doing
school done.
20 minutes, yeah.
20
minutes per. Maybe it's a bit longer, but
perhaps we should get back on topic.
yeah.
Yes, we should.
But we will. Eventually, we will do forgiving. We will do the how it should have ended by thing story to kind of see if Yezen's thing is accurate. But for now, I'm going to say no, it's not. I've watched it. That's not an accurate summation. You're just a douche.
Well, in other news,
all
the
the
sky
most
is
popular
blue.
fan theories. Jaime kills Cersei. Bran gets stuck in the Night King's memories. Jon makes the big sacrifice and is remembered as a hero king. And Queen Dany carries forward his legacy. And of course, this video is wildly popular, even though it ditches the tough questions Martin asks about war and power.
How does it ditch the question? I'm just like, how?
How that person is still alive, actually.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, I went, no.
You're assuming that Martin had anything to do with this.
Yeah.
It's bold of you to assume Martin cared after season 4.
I'm curious, how does Yezen get through life with this sort of logic?
I have no idea.
Like, is this dude married or something?
I don't think Martin had anything at all to do with season 8.
He had nothing to do with the last 4 seasons. Well, let me put it this way: he gave them the general story, but it's very much improvised.
Well, the problem is they tossed out a majority of seasons 4 and 5 of books 4 and 5 and just crammed it into one season.
Exactly. And then, because George R. R. Martin probably gave a much better plan, Bran was becoming king was probably much more satisfying, but they removed the Dorne plot, they removed the Fagon plot, they removed the Iron Islands plot, they removed all that and expected things to still go well and we still be satisfied. With an ending George R. R. Martin gave in season 3 based on all those things being introduced.
That's not even the case. Have you seen the Duty is the Death of Love documentary?
I have not watched Dragon Bands in a while, but please tell me it's somehow worse than that, isn't it? Than what I just said.
But you have seen the Last Watch documentary, right? And how it says end of Game of Thrones right after Dany dies?
Yes, I have watched that.
That was the original ending. And then Dumb and Dumber realized just after that, we need to figure out, okay, should be some political fallout. Let's just throw Bran as the king in.
Yeah, no, they should have just stopped it there.
Brenda Brukin.
What? I need to get a season 8 DVD and just burn it, I think. Make it as an offering.
Don't even buy it. Just don't even buy it. Guess they're still giving them money.
I need to make an offering.
Hey, make an offering with your own blood.
No, thank you.
One moment. Allow me to find the video evidence, because we have video evidence of them saying this.
Oh my god!
Because a statement like that requires actual confirmation that what they said was that stupid, and it was.
Actually, I'm very curious to see this. Barn became Johan. That's a funny typo right there. I'm being honest. Barn became king.
Barn to barn.
Alright.
All hail King Barn. What should we do? We should get some. We should put some gold on the barn. I think it would give some fancy cows.
Hang on, we need to get some raisin bran for Bran. I did a funny.
Okay.
Okay.
What was that?
Nothing.
You realize when you say nothing. You realize when you say nothing, it makes me wildly more intrigued about what that was.
Hey, Alex. Who was the person again that thought that video, the person Garvey's how it should have ended for you was 3 hours again?
I thought it was 2 hours. I never said 3 hours.
Yes, he did.
Oh wow, that's a brain fart. Because I did 6 times 20 equals 120. Then divide that by 60, and then you get 2. So that must be a brain fart.
Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. Actual audio evidence from their own mouths. Okay, come on, baby.
The video quality.
What we didn't really realize was how much residual drama there was left. Once we realized that both Jon and Tyrion were inevitably going to be prisoners, we knew that their fate was far from settled. So we went through a number of different versions of how to best take advantage of that tension, and we finally landed on
No,
the
you
version we
didn't
had
need to.
in Dragon Pit.
I suppose you won the.
No, you didn't need to do.
Nah, I'm not gonna help you because you're gonna lose either way. So, and the guy and people being there were just like, say, I'm sorry, say what? What did you just say?
Yeah.
That you can't have an all-seeing king. You remove the humanity from the throne. It's why we know the Night King is never gonna win, because that's not how the Game of Thrones is gonna end.
Also, kind of the thing is, like, people thought that Bran being the Night King based on, like, actual logic. Like, Bran is a time traveler, and we need an explanation for the Night King. So
we got neither.
Yeah. So, and that's just kind of the thing with this kind of, like, they're actually watching it and looking back, and apparently Dan and Dave, the thing they did for preparation was watch the earlier 8 seasons.
What?
I call.
Good God!
I call
The
BS.
earlier 7 seasons, don't you mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the stream's down.
Oh,
it is
down.
What?
That's only. I see an F in the chat that indicates that it's went down.
Yeah, it went down.
Oh,
it's not
come
live
on.
anymore.
Let me see.
And just offers a conformist fanfic.
Okay, is it back up? Let me see.
I see it.
Okay, it's back up?
Yeah, it's back up now.
About heroes saving the world from Ice Thanos. So thanks, story.
Ice
Thank you
Thanos?
for being such a perfect example.
Seriously?
That
would have
I
been
bring this up
cool.
because it
Ice
exposes the
Thanos.
entitlement of fandom. Like,
I would actually like to see him just
I
take
bring this
all
up
this.
because it exposes the
Wolf shush
entitlement of fandom. Like, I enjoyed Endgame as much as the next guy, but not everything has to be Endgame. Not every story has to please the mainstream.
No, it has to make logical sense.
Exactly. If your ending doesn't make sense, then people are not gonna like it. And even if it does, there are going to be people who don't like how the story ends.
I think that Endgame is a poor example of something he should be going against right now, because Endgame, it does subvert expectations. Like when Cap picks up the hammer, we all wanted that. It subverted our expectations in a way that was pleasing.
Honestly, actually, I don't think it's subverted. It didn't subvert. They didn't subvert expectations. They set that up since Age of Ultron.
Did they? Did they?
Yeah.
In a way, like you saw it wobble. You couldn't really tell if he had some bit of, power to get it, but most people theorize, or some people theorize, that after the Bucky thing came clean, then you could handle the hammer in Civil War.
That or it's because it's not really the original Thor's hammer, because we got to use the stupid time travel locks to Endgame introduced.
Yeah, that part's dumb.
You need to go to the paths. You go to the entirely fast. We change the events of those paths. Whatever explanation they used to justify, whatever BS explanation there was to justify anything.
Yeah, the plot of Endgame is not very well constructed, but at least I think the thing with them is they knew the characters really well, and they knew how the characters should end. So they allowed the characters have like a relatively satisfying ending. I think that is kind of that at least like raises Endgame over something like The Last Jedi or the ending of season 8.
Like, the biggest question I actually have is that time travel is extremely precise and really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Could you? I don't know. I'm just saying. And like you went back a lot of years just go back 5 years before Thanos destroys the stones somehow. Go to the planet. You know it's there, so you know where to go. Go there. Chop his head off. Movie's over.
Mm-hmm. So
he pretends that all the criticism of Game of Thrones and that I don't like it, and you have to be really dumb to actually believe this. Yep.
To be honest,
we're saying I don't like.
Negative.
No, it starts off with. No, it kind of starts and ends with, "This is bad." Okay, it starts with, "This is bad. Here are the mechanical reasons why this is so stupid."
Also, now that time travel is a thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where does it end? Like, you could be like, well, why not use time travel there? The thing with Marvel Cinematic Universe is it sort of became too powerful now. You could be like, well, why isn't Doctor Strange here right now? He could solve that in a minute, or Captain Marvel, or things like that, where they could just solve the issue in 5 minutes, no movie.
House rules, Sammy. Driver picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole.
I love how condescending that is.
Yeah. Alrighty. Back to the video. Alright, back to the video. Moving away from Endgame. We'll have an Endgame discussion at some point.
Yeah.
Not what Game of Thrones was never supposed to be. In a world where stories so often fail due to corporate greed, or a lack of creativity, or pandering too hard to a particular demographic, Game of Thrones is actually being punished for the opposite. It's being punished for keeping to the artistic vision of its author.
No,
they did the opposite of that. I haven't even seen the show, and I know that.
They did Martin dirty. That's what they did.
Is this dude mentally blind? Like, can he not notice the truth?
He's thrown shade at them a lot. He doesn't like these two.
But remember, he had no time to watch season 7, but had all the time in the world to watch season 3 of The Last Kingdom.
And he just said, like, I don't have time for TV. And like 2 days later, wasn't The Last Kingdom awesome? And like, it just like little things like in Fire and Blood, there are little things that are clearly like screw yous to season 8, like the fact that Silverwing can't go over the wall and how the fact that dragons are not like planes. They don't teleport places.
They don't have fire. They can't any efficacy on the fire.
Yeah. If Benioff and Weiss had stuck to his plans for the TV show, then I think he'd be closer to putting out one of the books he's working on, and he'd actually have the inspiration for the other one. That's what I think.
You know what? I honestly don't know how blind this guy has to be to think that he actually is happy with the way things are, and he actually did the work faithfully. Even season 2, there was some faithlessness there. I told you to budget, but still.
Like Karth. Well, Karth was actually just stupid.
Well, yeah, but still, once after season 4,
Arya killing the Night King.
Oh, I think I got the perfect analogy, Alex, for your blind thing. He has no eyes. They've fucked out.
Yeah.
Either that,
I think I agree with that.
or is a D&D simp.
It's one or the other.
No, it's not even mediocre. It's just downright awful. Sucker idolizing awful puss.
This dude is clearly the number one.
Well, let's keep going.
D&D simp.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Let's keep going.
I'm wrong.
You are.
Okay, so I've made some harsh claims. I've said that a lot of people's reactions are being driven by their attachment to an incorrect idea of what the story was supposed to be. I believe the story was always going to have Jaime choose to die with Cersei, Dany burn King's Landing, Jon exiled to the Night's Watch, and Bran chosen as king.
What's the point of the Night's Watch?
That's the story Martin was always telling.
I don't know.
Also, another problem with this is the fact that Dany was originally not supposed to go bug nuts. She was supposed to just burn a few Lannister soldiers that try to use human shields, and then go straight for the Red Keep. She does not firebomb the city. All the destruction we see
I don't know why
she's from wildfire.
That firebombing the city still stands out to be so dumb. There's no build up at all for her going insane.
Yeah, she's
and there's not even satisfying writing.
Yeah, she's done a lot of really ruthless things, but not to this degree. The only people she's done something like this to were slavers who she felt like deserved this.
There were 4 ways where this could have gone with Daenerys and the King's side. You could have just went straight for the big target, or maybe tried to trim down the fat, and maybe do a bit of extra cleaning, or just completely mow the lawn.
But what they chose to have her do was burn the house down.
We didn't start the fire.
Clearly.
I used to have that song memorized.
And for the most part, anything else would have been untrue to it. But what if for the Bran chosen as king? That's the story Martin was always telling, and for the most part, anything else would have been untrue to it.
I'm pretty sure that's not the story that Martin was telling. And I have not seen, nor have I read any of those books.
Okay.
Or the TV show.
Okay, question. Do you actually understand books 4 and 5? Really? The whole premise of books 4 and 5 is that the bad guys are losing because they have betrayed so many people that their integrity is worth bugger all.
Their integrity is like Swiss cheese.
Yum.
Oh, that
Swiss cheese.
That implies actual structural integrity.
Okay, so more air pockets than cheese.
Yes, because Cersei is a completely cray-cray individual who is utterly
insane,
devoid of intelligence. Yeah, she's a combination of stupid and insane.
There are chapters in the books that are utterly hilarious because of how insane she is.
Yeah, because she is so divorced from reality because she is such a horrible narcissist.
Oh yeah, but it's hilarious to watch. You just can't help you just be like, that is so dumb. I'm just like, that's hilarious. Please keep doing this. Be insane. I love it. I got my popcorn here. I'm eating it. This is great. Please keep being insane.
And to think her actress could have had so much fun with how crazy Cersei was. But no! Benioff and Weiss saw her being herself and decided to rewrite Cersei so that she is not acting.
Pretty much.
That's okay. Here's like a summary of what it's like. This is okay. You know that meme of Skinner? It's like that's how out of touch reality she is. Is it me who's clinically insane as murdering people left and right? Is just an overall all crazy person? No, it's the logical and sensible people in my life that are the ones in the wrong here.
Yeah, we could have gotten a performance a la the White Witch of what we just watched yesterday. We could have gotten that kind of performance from her, but no.
Maybe a little bit more like, maybe not like quite that shouty, but maybe like more like just kind of just a drunk lady who just like says, "Go screw yourself. I'm not paying my debts."
Yeah, but my point is, you could have had a performance where she's obviously having fun, and we don't get that.
Instead of just staring at a window for...
Not even a window, a green screen.
Staring out a window. Well, basically, her character is staring out a window for hours and hours. She barely moves from that window, probably.
Also, the most significant part of her character is that wine glass.
I was just going to point out, the budget for this was like 15 to 20 million per episode, and they were literally like, and John excuse for not petting the wolf before he went off, to King's Landing, where there was a chance he might die, not in the budget. How the fuck is that not in the budget? I get it's expensive, but still.
Well, basically, well, okay, let me explain why that is stupid. Okay, so it's even worse because they were throwing money around at practical sets. Like they dropped $10,000 in several months worth of man hours on a staircase that showed up. $10,000 and several months worth of work on a staircase that showed up for 1 second.
That wasn't even used.
You know the stair. So you know when John is walking toward the throne room, the stairs that lead up to the throne room. That was a practical thing, but it cost like $10,000 to make.
Why?
I remember Rocky Balboa having a way better scene with a staircase, and I'm pretty sure they got that one for free.
Yeah, they decided to make it. They decided to make it because we have all this dough, and they just didn't think about John petting Ghost. They're just that dumb.
So I get this straight. They were willing to include the most useless scene where John and Danny fly for like 2, maybe 3 minutes. It's maybe longer. I don't know. And you mean to tell me you can't have not even a minute of just John going up to Ghost and giving that pupper a pet?
Because David Benioff does not have good money allocation skills.
He has money allocation skills? That's news to me.
He doesn't have good money allocation skills at all.
He spent it all on hookers and blow.
On ambiguously brown hookers.
I think well, let's give him some credit. He doesn't have the stomach for the hard stuff. He's too much of a wuss. He just went with drink.
Okay, so ambiguously brown hookers and juice.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's keep going.
But what if I'm wrong? Wrong about what's driving people's anger, or wrong about the story Martin is telling, or wrong about what's good?
You're wrong about everything.
You are.
Well, my channel's become most widely known for predicting that Ben will be king. I have to admit that over the years, I've had a ton of theories, and most of them ended up being wrong. Yet, every time, I was so sure that I'd figured things out, that I knew what was good.
Okay. So here's the problem with your way of thinking. You are assuming that there is a pattern and logic to David Benioff.
There isn't any.
Wait, there's a brain in Benioff's head?
I'm pretty sure there's just a rock that rolls around in there.
Basically, like, David Benioff is basically just like He's a... Okay, one moment. Let me grab the stinking clip. David Benioff is not a writer. This is what
Maybe
he is.
he's just a reckless and irresponsible jackass.
Yes.
Oh well, there you go. It's like he's not an adult. He's not a writer, because calling him that, it's insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insulting to all of us here, I think.
It physically paints. as soon as he knows Crow's there, he's gone.
Hey, Crow, he's looking at Tism person.
This person's retarded. Yes. Yes, he is.
I can't believe he just now noticed he was here.
I've been mostly keeping my eye on the video.
Yeah.
I know he was here since he got here. I just didn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just... I hate this. Like, he's not even a functional adult. He's... Like, everything he has said makes him look so awful. He's admitted that he is a pathological liar on camera since he was 12.
Oh!
Seriously?
Since he was 12?
I'm not sure we can judge a 12-year-old's words, to be honest.
Like in an interview, he said, so I was a pathological... In an interview, as an adult, he said, well, the best writers are always liars. So since I was a kid, I've been a pathological liar. So much, like that's his words, not mine.
Yeah, those
That's
are
pretty
his
dumb
words.
shit, man. Like,
but,
I mean, on one hand, I admire the honesty, but
that's not something I don't know, man. No, pathological liar. That's kind of a bit scary.
Also, isn't that kind of funny when a pathological liar tells you they're a liar?
Also, there's the thing. Another issue is kind of the fact that, like, another piece of the story is, like, the context of that was, he said, well, my teacher got so concerned that I was being a liar that she called my parents in for a impromptu student-teacher conference when I said that my dad works as a submarine captain, when in reality he's just he's a banker, a really, really, really rich banker. And
I think we all need to bring attention to what Count Balerion just said. That don't diss cavemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is very much he has admitted I'm a pathological liar, and like he just kind of deadpan like a bratty 12-year-old. And his parents didn't even punish him for it. Like, he kept on doing it because his parents just didn't punish him at all for anything he did. And that's why he's kind of like a messed up dude.
If my mother caught me lying, she would have smacked myself up. She would have smacked me upside my head.
I've been caught lying. My mother smacked me.
I've been caught lying. I got grounded. I'm very careful about how I lie now.
Yeah, his parents just didn't care about him. His parents didn't care.
The more lies you tell, the more real it all becomes.
Yep.
Yeah. And the more elaborate the web of lies until you get caught in it.
Well, it's worse. He didn't even he did get caught. He just suffered no consequences. And it's kind of, that's influenced his worldview is I can do whatever I want and no consequences will follow.
Except now he's stuck at Netflix.
Well, thing is, he's kind of laughing all the way to the bank.
And he doesn't have that Star Wars series he wanted.
I wonder if he's going to become richer than Daddy now. Because his father's net worth is like $75 million, right? Let's see what his father's net worth is.
I don't
to the
know.
internet,
Netflix is losing money.
They've been
They
losing
are-
money forever.
They lost $900 billion just getting. They lost over $900 million getting cuties.
No, it was 90 billion.
Oh, 90 billion. There we go.
With a B.
Oh wow, his father's 82. Gee, oh Benioff's 49. Oh my god, I thought it was like 40.
Hashtag what is his dad gonna? Oh my god! I wonder how Benioff's gonna react when his dad drops.
He's probably gonna get so
Steven
much money.
Friedman's net worth.
And he knows how to, and I bet he doesn't know how to manage any of it, so he's gonna blow it all within.
Nope.
I want to say a week.
Yeah, because he never went into business. He wanted to be a writer, and his parents paid for college, and he never really applied himself, it seems.
Yeah, he's gonna die a poor old man.
Okay, I can't find his net worth, so that sucks.
That or his dad ends up being
Well,
Queen
let's see,
Elizabeth
what
and
is-
ends up living forever.
Well, considering like he is the former CEO of Goldman Sachs, let's look at Goldman Sachs network.
Yeah, I wonder how much the current CEO is
Man,
worth. You can use that as a baseline, sort of. So Goldman Sachs. David M. Solomon's rich as hell. I know that.
64 billion. That is how
Yes,
much
we know worth.
Goldman Sachs is worth.
David Solomon has an estimated net worth of $100 million.
That's gonna go. Okay, I take it back. Not 3, maybe 4 days at best.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, but yeah, he yeah. Let's keep
He's
going.
gonna blow it all on expensive
And what the
cars.
story was supposed to be.
And a big
Truth is, I've always been a little too
Mm-hmm.
certain that I'm right about things. And that's something that I've always had to work on. And maybe so do a lot of us.
No.
And if you notice, that was a big part of the message of Game of Thrones there at the end. That
No.
maybe in the process of being so certain that you know what's
Lunch,
good,
rather.
you aren't doing anyone any good. Maybe people are out here
Oh.
finding out plot holes while missing one of the key messages the show tried to deliver. That it's
Plot
destructive to be so
holes.
stuck in our own perspective that we stop trying to understand.
So one problem with that line of thinking is you assume that themes are not for 8th grade book reports.
Yeah.
Themes are not important. I have to say it right now, themes are not important at all.
I agree. I hate themes. They are very annoying. As someone who has to deal with themes on a weekly basis, please, can we destroy that word from our vocabulary? I'd be much happier.
I think that ultimately it is more just the idiots on YouTube, like Just Right and Patrick Willems and this person, have diluted the meaning of the word theme in order to defend bad media.
I think also teachers use theme way too much.
Also, the theme. Also, you don't necessarily. We did a stream on themes earlier, but so we won't get into it here.
If you want more, go watch that stream.
But for as in a taster, I would say theme is an intrinsic part of the work. They could be the most basic themes ever, but they are intrinsic to the writing. If you just write, you will get a theme out of it. You can make an intentional theme, but just writing the story, a theme will come out of it. Short answer to this.
Yeah,
a lot of themes boil down to good versus evil and good triumphing.
Or even coming of age.
Yeah, like a lot of themes you don't even realize. I guess you're writing a theme. I guess there's a theme there, but you're not even trying to make a theme. It just comes from you writing it and the idea.
Themes should be coming from you naturally and unconsciously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you try too hard with a theme, I want to make something based off this theme, it's going to be it may not turn out well because you're putting too much effort in making that theme come through, which sort of dilutes it in a way, at least in my opinion.
So, and kind of for this, it's all David Benioff cares about is fueling his own sense of grandeur and importance. He doesn't care about anything else.
In other words, he's sucking his own dick.
Pretty much. But like, he just wants to be an original work. He doesn't want to be predictable. He just said it didn't feel right for John to kill the Night King.
So you did do it because it didn't make you feel right. Like, this is not your work. You're adapting someone else's work.
Well, they're now beyond the book, so it's like...
Yeah, because they threw out 2 of them.
Yep, and just cannibalized it. And it's just like, no, you're kind of assuming death of the author here when kind of saying that, no, there was a theme here. But the problem is, if you don't assume death of the author and you look at what they actually intended, like when they're talking about the ending in the final episode in their commentary with Amelia Clark, all they are talking about is they're making jokes about how they wanted to tell Kit Harington, we did like a thing out of Jackass where we put pubic hair as the beard.
What?
What?
Ew.
Wait, what?
What?
They said I don't think they actually did. They said they considered it, but as like they're looking,
whose beard?
Kit Harington. Kit Harington.
Oh god, that's actually like, don't make me vomit, please. I ate dinner like an hour ago.
That's gross.
I'm eating dinner right now, you big baby.
They said this on it, but like I don't think they actually did. They said they kind of joked about wanting to do it, but they're doing this on a commentary.
And you're putting this on Martin's shoulders. This doesn't belong on Martin's shoulders. This belongs squarely on Perion.
Like what you're saying, Dunn, is that they seem to not take their work very seriously if that's their commentary.
As well as like they'll also be just talking about like really like in a kind of bland monotone voice. You have to like amp their volume up in order to kind of like see, wait, you're telling me that you dropped $10,000 and several months of work making a staircase that shows up for half of a second.
Yeah, for something like that that's not even going to be used, it's better to CGI it.
Or even like wasting lots of time on like it took 3 days to film Brienne of Tarth writing in the book. It took 3 days to film that.
It took 3 days. Oh my god! Yeah,
and like
tangent.
They admit that. And like,
I mean, I'll be honest. I've read hentai that had more serious commentary in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where the people explaining how they illustrated the work, they're like sitting there explaining it to you. Like hentai artists are more passionate about what they do than these people.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's keep going.
I mean, does this kind of backlash really benefit anyone? Probably not. I think this needs.
It benefits
this kind of backlash
writers.
Does.
Hold on, what did he say?
Basically, does the kind of backlash that Game of Thrones got benefit anybody?
Okay.
I would say yes, because writers go, I can do better than that, and some of them do.
You want to also think the backlash Game of Thrones Season 8 does help people. It helps people who want to be writers.
And it says, no, we are not doing stupid things like this.
Yeah.
As tragic as
also, the only reason why the backlash for The Last Jedi didn't really have a totally positive effect on Rise of Skywalker is because J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio have the collective brain power of a paramecium. Because neither of them are smart writers. They are utterly devoid of intelligence.
Not only that, but I'm pretty sure that they're also going to be using Game of Thrones along with The Last Jedi in how not to write a story.
And they're going to be using Game of Thrones to say how you should never, ever do this in a production, just like on a technical level.
Yeah.
Don't use 70 don't be an idiot and think you can train 70 live horses to do something in 12 days along with filming.
Yeah, if you want to use that many horses, then you have to train them ahead of time. You have to allocate time ahead of time.
Yep.
For their training.
Very, very frustrating how ill prepared they were. And I'm sort of scared of Miguel Sapochnik in House of the Dragon. That's going to fail, and he didn't seem to be the best director. There's multiple flaws in his stuff, which I guess lots of people have flaws. Even Tarantino has flaws, but
I think that the problem isn't necessarily Sapochnik. I think that it's Benioff's writing.
God, yeah, Benioff. Ugh.
Okay, we get beat on Benioff later. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Direct all of our anger at a particular person when we feel let down tends to miss the bigger picture. With Game of Thrones, it's Benioff and Weiss. Even though there are much bigger structural issues with adapting A Song of Ice and Fire into a television format. I mean, George R. R. Martin himself
there are all those problems
for books 4 and 5, a strategy which would have been impossible to do with a television show. Also, he throws in a bunch more characters, and he spent the last 8 years writing the 6th book. Meanwhile, D&D had to not only condense the story, but do it in a
Not even
condensing story.
They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that at all. And no, you're wrong about that, because The Last Kingdom certainly managed to do it.
Well, the books aren't. I heard the books aren't particularly long.
Well, no, they're not. But the point is that the people who did The Last Kingdom had a better idea of how to condense the material of 2 books into 1 season than Benioff did. Benioff threw everything out and just decided to go with filler. Basically.
Mm-hmm.
On top of The Last Kingdom, I just started watching the 2nd season.
Oh, nice.
I have it on my list of things to watch, but I have so many things to do.
I know.
Let's keep going.
Action of the time. People call them out on rushing the story, but they went 1 season beyond their initial plan and spent an entire 2 years on the final 6 episodes. They made mistakes, yes, but they did so because they had a...
Wait, George R. R. Martin really said it should be 13 seasons, and you're like...
Yes, 13, and they decided to go, oh no, we're going to slice that in half.
Not even half.
Then it is half, because he said 13 10-episode seasons, so it's about a little over half. 70 episodes about Game of Thrones had, like 73, and it should have had 130 at least.
Yeah.
So...
Another issue is the fact that they have admitted we didn't have a writer's room. We thought we could just write this all ourselves. And us.
And the only reason that they had anyone else in there was because who was it? Not Netflix.
HBO.
Yeah, HBO said you need more people in this room.
Oh, great! We'll just hire our coffee boy.
Boys, it seems.
Who knows? That coffee boy could be very qualified. Did he actually go to screenwriting school or anything?
Well,
I have a degree at coffee making 101.
Well, the thing is, Mr. Brian Cogman, I think that they just got lucky with Brian Cogman. Because
yeah, they did.
He's not a screenwriter. He's a failed actor who went to Juilliard for acting.
Really? Going to Juilliard?
Yeah, he could have hired all of us, and the last couple of seasons probably would have been way better.
Well, to be honest, I hope to go to USC and study screenwriting, so that'd be fun.
Like, imagine if HBO offered done, hey, if you want, you and your server could write a season of Game of Thrones.
What I would do with that would be, I would say, okay, I am going to come up with an overall season outline, and then I am going to make it so that this show, then I'm going to have a very clear delineation of episodes, and I'm going to have an actual writing staff of several people, make sure that this is very carefully planned out, and then I'm going to ensure that the thing is within a reasonable budget, and I'm not going to, how to put it, scam HBO for money, because I'm not telling them the full budget.
To be honest, I would be very...
And you would need to make sure that someone who has no idea what's going on is on staff so that you can ask them, does this make sense? And if they say no, then you need to rework it and not put it up for production until it works.
Nick Brown brings up a good point here. Yeah, writing is hard. That's still not an excuse for bad writing.
No, it's not.
I'd still be very hesitant about doing it because yes, you get famous and you probably get a lot of other jobs if you manage to pull it off. But on the other hand, season 8 was doomed unless I can go back to season 6 and start rewriting it from there. I'm not entirely sure I could pull off a good season 8.
Well,
I feel like it's a good writing challenge.
Yeah.
A group of college students wrote a season 8 wrote a good season 8 just was after season 7.
Yeah,
it is
I still feel like this, at least to a fan of the series who knows somewhat of what goes on in the books. I don't even know specifics. I just know the general gist. The ending is still very crappy compared. The whole, even with no Fagon, no Iron Islands, it's just like the ending feels very crappy and very, I guess, empty.
Well, have you watched the virtual season 8 from Boston University?
I have not. I know you brought that up to me before, and I probably will have to watch. I have to watch a lot of things.
Well, it is an actual, basically a group of college students said, okay, we like Game of Thrones. Let's have an exercise. And they wrote it for school where they said, we're going to write out a season 8. And they did. And it was actually pretty good. And it actually does contain Dany burning King's Landing, but it makes sense. Because Dany burns, basically the dead reach King's Landing, and the burning of King's Landing is in order to nuke the dead, with wildfire.
Yeah, that
makes a lot more sense than what actually happened.
Tangent.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's keep going.
Hard job. Alternatively, with The Last Jedi, everyone's villain was Rian Johnson, despite there being much bigger structural issues with the way Disney brought back Star Wars. Yet the backlash over The Last Jedi didn't push Disney to re-examine the broader problems with their trilogy. It just bullied some people and pushed them back to J.J. Abrams, whose idea of a Star Wars movie was just a retelling of A New Hope.
No!
Ultimately, fan backlash didn't stop.
I'm just saying.
I'm struggling not to go on a rant.
Hold on. I'm just saying Rian Johnson was shitty with Last Jedi. I admit that, and I'm a big Rian Johnson fan. But it's only partially his fault because this sequel trilogy was a story that should have never been told, or should have been told from a singular writer and director, not from all these different voices coming in.
And
Too many cooks in the kitchen. There is a and that is a different problem to what Benioff and Weiss had, which was there were no cooks in the kitchen.
Just a bunch of you know what? It's like worse cooks in America, but yet there's no one to judge their work. Everyone's just like, I think my own work looks good. Yet there's no, top chef there looking at it.
It's basically like Benioff has admitted, his work habit is basically late at night with nobody watching, and he just kind of passes down directives. That's just how it works. He doesn't have a script doctor. He doesn't have an editor because he's like, I'm perfect. I can't do any wrong. Here we go.
Not sure I'd like an editor, but a script doctor maybe. An editor I feel like would get annoying sometimes. Like I don't want to be like, shut up, please. Please shut up for a moment.
That's basically what a script doctor is.
Yeah.
A script doctor is an editor for movie scripts.
That'd get annoying. I can somewhat understand that. But then again, it's if you're a good writer and capable of knowing what you're doing, and they are clearly not.
If you have a good enough editor, they can improve your book.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt about that, but I feel like it get hella annoying sometimes.
Yeah, it would. And it does.
It wouldn't. It does, but you have to. So, because sometimes somebody else will pick up something that you didn't notice.
That is true.
Yeah, that's what better readers and editors are for.
I feel like they'd also maybe help with maybe a logic problem you don't see, like an accidental wait a second, that's not very logical. I suggest some changes here because you don't even realize that something's illogical.
The issue is one of the things that is I have to do most of my own editing because I have no money. But I'm trying my best to edit my work so that it makes sense and works well, and thankfully with and kind of notice little continuity errors. But we should move on.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
4 minutes left. It's been 90 minutes and we got through 5 minutes.
It just invited more shameless pandering. This is kind of an obvious statement, but television and film is largely driven by the market. And so what gets made will typically be what can reliably turn a profit. On account of just how much goes into shows and movies today, studios avoid taking risks, leading to our current age of remakes, reboots, and adaptations. When we punish stories that try to be subversive, we're implicitly telling studios to keep playing it safe.
No, why is your Crimes of Grindelwald?
No.
Why is he showing all these good movies? Or some of them are good movies. I enjoy Crimes of Grindelwald, by the way.
It's not our fault we've gone on a tangent. He just went on a tangent. It's like, dude, you're talking about Game of Thrones. Keep to your topic.
So what he is referring to is basically just it's a sequel. But so I think that partially what it is Crimes of Grindelwald did not make as much money as they were hoping. Another problem with Crimes of Grindelwald is that it is structurally a mess.
For sure.
It's a
the thing is, I enjoy it. I really like Grindelwald, and considering he's featured a lot in the movie, it's like what I feel about Far From Home. I really enjoy the movie because I like the villain a lot. And if I like the villain a lot, I sometimes tend to ignore. Even Voldemort, like Harry Potter, Voldemort could have done so much, and yet he didn't.
So,
yeah, I found Voldemort just being a very underwhelming villain in my eyes.
I like Grindelwald because he actually persuades people with his tongue.
Let Dunn talk.
Okay, so that means one thing. Alex, you and me are going to cover the School of Movies section where they talk about Grindelwald.
Ooh, that will be fun. That sounds fun.
Oh, you have not yet encountered the School of Movies.
They're bad, you said, right? You dislike them?
Yes, they're very bad.
I posted a meme of me burning their house down.
Mm-hmm.
Which I swear I did not do.
Well, you don't know where they live. You just know a general location.
They'll burn half of England down.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
For better or worse, I appreciate when people have the courage to try something different. We need more different.
Different does not mean
Frankly, we need
better.
more weird.
Different does not mean bad.
Terrible mistake.
Different doesn't mean bad, but different also doesn't mean good either.
Exactly.
Which brings me back to the petition and maybe my most controversial point. In a recent interview, actor Nikolai Coster-Waldau joked that the final season of Game of Thrones would be remade once the 1 million people who signed the petition could all agree on an ending. And while he makes a great point about how it's impossible to appease every headcanon out there, I do want to challenge his point.
No, you don't have to
because
appease
I actually
a
think it would have
headcanon.
been easy to make an ending that was better received than the one we got.
You do
Which
not have
is
to
actually
appease
why
every
David
single
Benioff would
headcanon.
be
You do
like-
not have to appease any headcanon. You just have to
Exactly.
get all the fans to agree that the ending that the ending you come up with makes sense. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. It matters that they agree that this makes sense for what to happen.
Well, you try to please everyone, you ended up pleasing no one.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, and Breaking Bad, I don't know how many people expected that ending, but if I look at the ending, I'm like, you know what? That actually makes legitimate sense. I like that ending. I'm happy with that ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish it would have gone on forever, Breaking Bad, because it's a fantastic freaking show. But I'm happy with. I honestly say that's one of the best endings because there's an actual arc to the ending.
Yeah. The ending
Yeah.
has to make sense. It doesn't matter that everyone likes the ending. What matters is that they agree that it makes sense.
Which,
They
in my
end up
opinion,
saying, I don't like that ending, but it makes sense for that to be the ending. That's all you need them to say.
And also, but it's basically like, I think that you could have easily, like, if you had like a middle of the road ending, everybody would have been happy. Like,
Just
I think
ending
that, like,
with Danny's death probably would have gotten a better reaction than what they did.
yeah,
yeah,
since
probably
everybody's-
because they did the politics. That should have been at least an episode on its own. That whole because it's not going to be tidy for sure. You saw how Robert Baratheon's death tore apart the realm. There was a 5-way civil war, or actually 6-way. Then it became 5-way when Renly died, but right, I think I could be doing
Yeah, the
math
war
wrong,
fight
but yeah, but
Another
it's
problem-
just like it's
I
not going to
think
be
a
neat
big
and
problem-
tidy.
And I think another problem is another problem is essentially they came up with it last minute after the writing period, after the table read. This was not like a central theme of the story.
No wonder
No, it
Danny was
wasn't.
so upset. I mean, Amelia Clark.
Yeah, she
during
was
that.
Yeah, she was pissed.
I feel bad for her.
And she
I
didn't.
think
and
everyone's
actually,
gonna feel bad for the actors, especially Lena Headey. She got so screwed in that final season. She has proven herself to be an amazing actress, and yet she barely got any screen time in season 8, and yet they still paid her $1 million an episode.
I think another problem is the fact that like something that makes me pissed off is the fact that like Amelia Clark first like wandered around, was actually shocked twice by the show. The first time was reading the scripts for the first time, and the second time was watching it because she thought because it was so vague, she thought, oh, it's going to be an accident in Burning King's Landing. She didn't realize that why she didn't understand while they were filming why Kit Harington was so angry, was directed to be so angry
Really?
because she admits that in the commentary. And like
I feel like
And that's through no fault of her own.
yeah, and she actually was like
She wandered around London for 4 hours straight.
Yeah. And then it got worse because she was actually at a charity event at watching season 8, and she's usually like this amazing bubbly person, like if you've seen her in interviews.
Oh yeah, she's always happy.
At that charity event, she was barely able to talk, and she like talked about that with Benioff and Weiss, that she was like so shocked by that ending that she was unable to like talk for hours during the dinner, and people were actually like asking like, "Are you okay?" or live tweeting, "Are you okay?"
I have to feel bad. You know what? You gotta feel horrible for the actors and stuff because they put so much of their time and effort into it, and yet for it to end so horribly, you gotta really feel for them.
Yeah. On top of that, Benioff doesn't have any confidence in their abilities.
Well, it's not even that he has. I think he has too. I think that he has I think he has confidence in the worst aspects. I think that like I think that he has full confidence in their abilities. He just believes that their abilities should be used in a very dumb way.
Except we have evidence to otherwise because he kept rewriting the characters
to
fit
the
the actors instead of letting the actors step into
the character,
put a mask on. Yeah,
I think that speaks more to the fact that he is an idiot more than the fact that he just doesn't have confidence in his actors. I think that he just kind of is dumb and lets the actors affect it because he's a fanboy.
Do you know how much of the season, like especially season 8, is ad-lib? Do they even allow ad-libbing on there or no?
No, they refuse to let anybody ad-lib.
Because I know in a lot of the great shows, like some of the greatest moments in shows, like even like The Boys, like they talk about a lot of the stuff. Some of the stuff's ad-libbed, and it's just utter hilarious how they just let it.
Genie from Aladdin was ad-lib.
Yep.
That's all that was.
Yep.
And that's why it was so great.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Deserve some credit. It would have been easy for them to abandon Martin's vision and do a crowd-pleasing ending that people were expecting.
Seriously, going through a stuff like King Bran and Jon kills Dany, knowing they did not think that people would hate this.
No.
They thought that people would love that because Benioff has an inflated sense of opinion.
Wait, I have a legitimate question, like a little legitimate thing. Like, you have Amelia Clarke as an actress, and you do not let her ad-lib, even though she's utterly hilarious and has great range and stuff. That's like mind-blowing. With Lena Headey or Kit Harington, it's just like, how do you not let them just go off for 1 or 2 takes? You don't have to use the takes, but just see if it provides a more natural angle and maybe combine the clips.
Thing is, they just micromanage people. All they do is micromanage people, and they say, "Nope, you aren't." Like Dragon Demand says multiple videos talking about the actors talking about like it has to be exactly this, and they don't. And like Nikolai Castorwaldo asked, like, "Well, shouldn't it be more like this? Shouldn't it be more like this?" And they basically said, like, "Shut up and read the lines."
And it's funny how Castorwaldo like sort of accepted that in a way in that video. I watched that interview type thing.
Yeah,
he sort of said it didn't make sense, but he sort of like accepted it too. Like they know what they're doing; they're the writers.
Which is, yeah. But let's keep.
Just because you're a writer does not make you qualified, and just because you're an actor does not mean you can't ad lib or write.
Well,
Benioff is not a writer. Let's not call him that.
Yeah, let's.
Like, we do not award you the rank of writer, dude.
No, we don't.
You are not. You're not. You have no qualifications. You barely have any intelligence. You are not even a functional adult. You are a bratty 13-year-old child in a man's body.
We don't even let him on. We don't even let him on the council.
Nope.
You don't give him a seat on the council, nor do we give him the rank.
Yeah, but it's like King Bran was not an active. King Bran was not an act of guts. King Bran was a lazy last-minute rewrite because they realized, oh, needs to be more political fallout. Let's just throw this together last minute.
Can we just talk about how much political fallout would have been from Brienne? Yes, a female knight being Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Like
that part's really stupid.
There has never been a female a female Knight of the Kingsguard, correct? I believe so, but I'm just double checking my.
Jonquil Drake was the closest, but she was an exception.
Yeah, she was a bodyguard more so. She was more like the leader of the Queen's Guard in a way. Like,
but there was no oath.
Exactly, and there were no others really, except for maybe a member of the King's Guard. But she was the personal bodyguard there all the time. And seriously, I don't get how Westeros would accept any of this. Like, seriously, the political fallout will be wide and far.
Also, another issue is just like, okay, I'll just kind of limit this to 2-minute rant. Okay, Iron Islands and Dorne. There is no way they are accepting King Bran. That is so stupid.
For sure.
And it sounds to me like they could have gotten an entire season out of the political fallout itself.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you have because the Iron Islands and Dorne have a history of rebelling. they hate the mainland. Well,
they don't necessarily have a history of rebelling. They have a history of being, well, at least Dawn, be at war with the Seven Kingdoms, because technically it was the Seven Kingdoms who wanted to fight them, and they always sort of lost against Dawn. Dawn doesn't necessarily have a history of rebelling themselves, more so aggressively protecting themselves against invasion.
They're still the Vulture Kings.
Yeah, that too. Technically, it's never been, though, confirmed that that was behind. Yes, it's been suggested that the Prince of Dawn was behind the Vulture King. It's never been fully.
How else did they get their funding?
No clue. For all we know, it could have been Essos. But I'm just saying, it's sort of like it's most likely, but it's not been confirmed yet. And as you know me, I'm the Fire and Blood lore master, and I'm just like, I think I need a little more confirmation there.
Another issue is that the fact that the Dornish are clearly slave traders, like even in Fire
for sure.
The Dornish are, and they are that's the only reason why the Martells are so rich is because they're slavers.
What else are they gonna do?
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no Dorne's a desert. There's nothing there.
Now, in the main series, has it ever been noted that has slaves ever been noticed in Dorne in the main series, or no?
They don't keep slaves. They just make their criminals into slaves and sell them in Exos under the radar.
And I wouldn't be shocked if they have slave holdings in Essos and stuff like that. That like they get slaves there and sell them, just off the mainland.
Well, they have Well, basically, like they have like criminal, like all of those prisons that they have where people just go and they disappear and never seen again. That's basically just like probably like a slave. Basically, like, all right, you're going to be sold into slavery. We're really close to Essos. Let's take and sell them.
But I also wouldn't be shocked if they had holdings there as well, in addition to make more money.
Probably. They probably are. And
because realistically, they probably don't have a whole lot of criminals there. They might have a good amount of criminals, but still, they probably want to make as much money as they can, especially because Prince Doran is having all these plots and stuff in the main series.
Another thing about it is, but all of the Sand Snakes dress better than Cersei, which is like, okay, how are you so rich? One thing about it is like Dorne doesn't have to pay taxes to the Iron Throne,
which is very significant. Which I'm sort of shocked that Robert Baratheon, or not Robert Baratheon, Aerys, considering the tyrant he was, and considering there was a marriage between Rhaegar and Arianne, or Tywin was like, guess what? Well, we're doing this. You got some royal children on the throne. We need some taxes now, okay? We want this to happen, but you need to give us something.
Yeah. Let's keep going, and we'll leave the side by side for that.
Have Jon sword fight the Night King. Have Jaime heroically kill Cersei. Have Dany install democracy, and then fly off into the sunset with Jon. An ending like that.
Okay, for 1 second, no. Dany installing democracy with Jon would be stupid.
Also, that's a funny pause moment right there. Dany's just like.
Probably sounds like reactions to what you just said.
Yeah, that is. Dany installing democracy. No, just having a just and firm leader.
Yeah, that's all they want.
That's all she wanted to be, a just and firm leader. And then she goes off the rail for no apparent reason. Yes, Missandei died. Yes, people died. And yes...
By Sunday!
One person that you were close to died. Who else died, to be honest? Like, they killed a dragon, which never should have happened, but still, you know what? Main objective, Dany. You fought your whole life for this. Stop. You know what? That would never happen in the book. She would never break down like that.
Another issue is the fact that, kind of one thing that kind of makes me kind of chuckle inside is basically every single leftist on the board yelled, "How dare you kill the only woman of color who has a speaking
I don't get
role."
that. I'm very
I don't
democratic in my beliefs, but no. Stop being an SJW. Even there's no reason. I don't get it.
I've got a question, actually. How many of these characters have not lost anyone? Because I thought Martin
no one
was very much anyone can die.
He's
I don't
pretty
think
much the Grim
anyone's.
Reaper of storytelling.
Yeah, I think everyone has lost someone, to be honest, who's
So
alive at
what?
that point.
Just not recently, actually.
So why the hell did they have her go off the reins like that?
Because even
Because
earlier,
they
she
wanted-
lost Jorah and she did not go mad, and she lost whatchamacallit, yeah, Barristan, she didn't really go mad, and even when she had to lock her dragons away, she didn't really go mad. She was still a bit angry at all those things, but she still kept her sanity.
Yep.
So you think a small thing like that, like why the hell would bells, trigger her? Like you're so close to winning, you're so close to get what you're getting, you wouldn't lose it. You just wouldn't.
It's not even that she's so close; she has one.
Exactly. She just wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. That literally destroyed her character development and really just like, why the fuck did we just waste 9 years of our lives or 8 years or whatever to watch this shit? You just destroyed their character growth. What was the point of all this? Why did I waste 8 years of my life on this if this is the conclusion? It's horrible. It makes no sense.
Yep. Let's keep going.
That isn't hard to come up with. After all, that sort of fan servicey wish fulfillment is pretty much exactly what they wrote for Battle of the Bastards, and it received widespread acclaim.
Wish fulfillment? What?
Okay. Okay, so quick thing. He's not okay, so what would you have wanted? There is no other outcome for, even in the books, Stannis is going to kill Ramsay. That's just a given at this point because Ramsay is stupid.
Okay.
Another problem with that is the fact that Mr. Like in the book, it does not make any sense for basically the book. They are setting up that Ramsay is going to die because Roose Bolton is scared crapless that the North is going to turn on him because they know that he knows they hate him for killing an immensely powerful and immensely popular ruler and betraying him under guest right. That has lots of consequences.
Under guest right?
Yes. Guest right, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That has consequences.
Yes. So he basically murdered his own king, who he swore allegiance to with his own hand at a wedding, under another lord's keep, but it's still killing under guest right.
Yeah.
And
that was dumb.
Yeah, and it leads to short-term gains, but ultimately and they lost the original ending where it was set up that they were going to betray them because it's just like you betray your father betrayed Ned Stark's betrayed and murdered Ned Stark's son, and you raped his daughter. You are dead. But in the end, like they're fighting to the death. The Umbers are fighting to the death for Ramsay when it's blatantly said they're going to turn. It's so stupid.
And I believe they lost that ending because they refused to do stuff out of sequence.
Yep.
God.
Alrighty, let's keep going.
Let's continue.
But yeah.
Seriously, people, the last 2 episodes of season 6 are not well written. People
we agree with this.
Liked watching the heroes win. So despite
the heroes going to win in the books, but the problem is it was done stupidly.
Heroes. They've all done shitty things. Are they even really heroes, or it's just a matter of how great a black they are in regards to the hero skill? Even Dany and Jon have done crappy things. None of the characters are white knights. They're all on the scale of gray. How gray they are.
Jon Snow executed a child for murdering him.
Yeah, being honest, they've all done crappy things. It's all none of the characters. There are no real heroes. There are characters we like and characters we dislike. To be honest,
They're called protagonists simply because they're the ones that push the story.
Exactly. So I guess Danny and John are the protagonists because they push the story more, and I guess Cersei in a way is protagonist. Well, I guess she doesn't really push the story in season 8.
Cersei's an antagonist.
She's
Cersei's
the
an
antagonist.
Yeah. Then season 5, she does push the story quite a bit to the insanity part.
She's a villain protagonist, is the best way I would put it.
Yeah, especially in season 5. She is for sure a villain protagonist because she pushes that whole King's Landing story.
Yep. Let's keep going.
Despite everything, I respect D&D for trying. For doing a final season that took big risks.
Trying?
Do I think it was great?
No, there is no try.
But it was ambitious.
So you're okay
and to
with
me,
giving them
that's more
a
important.
Participation.
Now, of course, there are things I would have done differently. Characters I don't think were handled well, and valid criticisms to make. But we should consider that for everything the showrunners might have gotten wrong, there were probably a ton of things we had wrong too. And instead of obsessing over plot holes, maybe our energy would be better spent trying to...
It's not even plot holes.
Isn't he just saying an oxymoron, though? He seems to be contradicting himself a lot.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Another problem is basically he is saying shut up about plot holes.
Stop talking about holes.
Yeah, that's gonna come back to bite him later.
Oh, I don't think that this guy's big enough to get bitten on the butt behind.
I want to punch him in the face. I seriously do. This dude's got such a punchable face, and I'm just like, stop being so damn annoying and stop being so damn contradictory. That's not right. Whatever. You get the point. I want to punch him though.
Yeah, I know.
I very rarely apply this epithet to anybody, but this man is the archetypical soy boy.
Yes.
I don't know what a soy boy means. I should probably search that up. What it is to be young. Soy boy.
You know what soy boy is?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
I want your ignorance.
What? Okay, what does it mean?
As I said, what it is to be young. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a definition, all right. That's oh dear, Dunn. That's harsh to him, man. You really must hate him.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a pejorative term often used in online communities to describe men as perceived as lacking masculine characteristics.
This is a soy boy.
Damn, man. You're going at it.
The term bears many similarities and has been compared to the slang term cuck. Another term.
Sometimes it's used in conjunction with that word.
Oh, youthful ignorance! What have you done to me today?
So you lost that ignorance. Great, I hate you now.
Thank you.
Oh man, this is great. Urban Dictionary says slang used to describe males who completely and utterly lack all necessary masculine qualities. This pathetic state is usually achieved by an overindulgent and emasculating projects.
I gotta say the last paragraph. The average soy boy is a feminist, non-athletic, has never been in a fight, will probably marry the first girl that has sex with him, and will likely reduce all his arguments to labeling the opposition as Nazis. Oh dear God. Don, you were really going at it, man. I don't know if I know anyone who's been a soy boy. I don't even know if I'd call him a soy boy, but you were really going at it, man.
Yeah. I apply that word to only a few people, such as Movie Bob, Just Right, Patrick Willems, and Yezen.
Yeah.
So I don't use that word lightly.
We should take a vote on whether we all. I think he's actually maybe a soy boy. I don't know. He might.
He certainly has the face of one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Really. They should add to the definition punchable face. He's got one of them.
Yeah.
I sort of want to sock him.
He really does.
Yeah.
Especially with his views, I'm just like, damn, that's dumb, man. That's really dumb.
You're arguing for lowered standards, which is so annoying.
Especially when there's already such a low standard Netflix in the writing industry and filmmaking industry right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Netflix, see script. Netflix, we're gonna give this show $5 million per episode. Have fun. Bye bye.
We're gonna pay $9 billion for a book, and for just the rights to a book, not like not the rights to, not the production costs. $9 billion just right off the bat, and we're gonna ask one guy who's extremely polarizing, i.e., Ryan Johnson, and
still love
two
Ryan
other men. What?
I still love Ryan Johnson.
I know, but he is at least a polarizing figure.
Oh, I know. Like, very much so. Very much so.
He is not a surefire. He is not a surefire bet for success.
Oh, for sure. Well, writing, I'd say. Directing, yes.
Yeah. And then you have D&D, who legit have no writing credentials, do not know how production works, do not know how screenwriting works, and are going to lose so much money because they are basically the Billy McFarlane of the television industry.
Now, Dunn, I got a question for you. Let's say Netflix offers you $1 million for the book rights for the show rights for your book or one of your book series, and they say D&D is going to write it. Would you accept that $1 million, knowing it will make your book very famous, and chances are you will get a lot of book sales?
It would be ruined.
Yeah, that's true, but you'd get a lot of book sales.
I would say...
And $1 million off the bat.
Okay, I would say if you give me 50 million, I will allow it.
To be honest, I'd probably accept it, to be honest.
Wait, what are you paying a 50 million for?
No, it's basically no. If they ask me, hey, if D&D will read your book, D&D will adapt your book, you get $50 million. I'll be like, okay, I will take that $50 million.
Really?
I would demand to be in that writer's room along with
I would concur. I'd be like, I'd be the head writer.
Well, no, I would demand that they have a writer's room.
I'll just try to say no.
It's not even that I demand that they. It's not I demand to be on the writer's room. I demand they have a writer's room.
To be fair, they sort of had a writer's. They'd call it that. They'd say, well, you know what? I consider that a writer's room. We have a writer's room for Game of Thrones because technically they had 4 writers in a room.
Well, no, like the Austin Film Fest, they said, they said like we didn't really have a traditional writer's room like other TV shows. It was just us two guys not talking to each other at our computers.
Well, they'd still say, well, heck, it's the whole writing room.
A traditional writer's room for that money.
They're gonna be like, you know what, do you know what they'd probably be like, D&D, knowing them, they'd be like, you are a nobody. We made the most popular TV show in television. Be quiet, you don't know what you're talking about, because they sound like those type of people that just be totally, condescending to you.
Yeah.
Knowing them, especially Benioff.
Oh, I would probably.
You know nothing. We know everything. Shut the hell up. They'd probably even use profanity. I don't feel comfortable saying with.
I probably would. I think that I would probably get into a shouting match with them.
That'd be so fun. You'd have to record that.
Yeah.
Record it if you do. Please.
Because I would yell, "You're basically a trust fund baby. You're a trust fund baby who has no skills other than what Daddy gave you. Daddy bought for you, because nobody would ever take you seriously unless your dad was basically Daddy Warbucks."
Yeah.
And I would just go. I would probably I think that a conversation between me and Benioff would be like a conversation between Benioff and Dragon the Mans.
Yeah.
You know what I'd be like if they offered it to me? I'd be like, I will take $1 million and I will screenwrite this myself, even though I don't have a book and I have no intention of publishing a book. I'd just be like, I will write it myself and I will establish a writer's room. D&D can produce if they want, and I would just be like, ooh, I'm getting a phone call. Block. block D&D. I just be like,
Yeah.
the Netflix be like, have they called you? Have they done anything? I'll be like, nope, I haven't seen any phone calls. I think they called once, but we got disconnected, I think.
Probably. No, I would be like, I would probably just insult Benioff constantly and just like press every single button he has because he is a narcissist and he can't take insults. And I would just be like, okay, so why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? He's like, because creatively it makes sense to us. You are an idiot. Please answer the question.
Just all aside, why?
I asked you why. I didn't ask. I didn't ask you to say it made sense. And it's because it doesn't. You're a liar. Please answer the question. Why did you do it? Oh, we're just showing off the actors. Thank you. And then I would just publish that conversation across the internet.
Why would you do any of that? Why would you do any of that?
Because I want to permanently discredit this man.
No,
you know what I would want to see?
Not you, baby Benioff. I wouldn't do any of that.
You want to know what I would see? I would want to see Vagar in a TV series.
And I would very much love Leslie Ann Brandt from Lucifer to voice her.
Yes.
So who here has seen Lucifer?
Not me.
I have seen like the trailer. I have a friend who's seen Lucifer. A couple of friends. They say it's all good. It's not my type of show, to be honest.
Well, it's just like I would love. Well, maybe like after the stream, I'll show you like a few clips of Leslie Ann Brandt. And alrighty.
I would
reach a better understanding. And
okay, I wasn't saying why would you do any of that to you. I was saying that to Benioff.
Yeah.
Well, because he is so out of touch that he'll just admit stupid stuff on his commentaries, and because he's so out of touch.
You know, I would love like behind the scenes and inside the episode type stuff because I'd actually explain things and they just contradict themselves all the time in those inside the episodes. I'm just like, for the love of God, get your shit straight.
Like, even though the Tyrells have basically been courted for the past several seasons for their army, they said, oh, they're just not good fighters.
No.
And they have the largest army out of all the other kingdoms. And yet, how does the Lannister army beat? Wait, how does the Lannister army beat them? How? I'd like to someone actually explain that to me. How?
The Lannister army has been heavily depleted. The Tyrells have barely been touched. The
I'd like to know,
army
how did they siege it down so quickly?
Also, the Lannisters are basically, at this point, all their professional soldiers are dead.
This is actually getting me upset over Season 7, because Season 7 was just mind-boggling dumb.
All of the seasons after Season 4 are mind-bogglingly dumb. And even, like, there are bits in Season 4 that are stupid, like Ramsay fighting a bunch of the best Ironborn fighters in just his shirt, in just his pants, with a pair of knives.
And the fact they run away from dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs!
Maybe our energy would be better spent trying to reach a better understanding. And appreciating that despite being really flawed, the ending we got was genuine. Not focus grouped or test marketed, but in a...
What? I would not call the ending of Game of Thrones genuine. Since they pulled it out of their freaking ass.
Another thing is, like, better understanding. You're saying this even though you don't look into their commentaries or their behind the scenes stuff and just kind of say, oh, well, then he kind of forgot is a legit excuse for why this idiocy is happening.
No, it's not.
Attempt to explore some tough questions about who we are.
No.
Which is why we should forgive Game of Thrones.
Never.
No.
Although I can't tell anyone how to feel, I can suggest that we also...
What was that?
He's playing Joy to the World because it's copyright-free music.
A wheelchair in a medieval setting.
That makes sense.
No, it does not.
I was being sarcastic.
So there are wheelchairs at this point. It's just mechanical wheelchair.
That does not look like a mechanical wheelchair.
Remember that Prince of Dorne who had a wheelchair? Targaryen prince. Just like
who doesn't exist. Like legit does not exist. They just made him up to justify, oh, there's a wheelchair here. And Bran can see the past, so he just stole wheelchair designs. As well as probably researching Pornhub while the Westeros' equivalent of Pornhub while the last night battle is going on.
What was he watching in his spare time?
Probably going to Littlefingers and going it on a loop. Well, if I'm going to die, I might as well.
He had VR headset before VR headset was a thing.
Yep.
Wait, another.
Alrighty. I forgot the out of place video.
Oh! I have to say this. I want to say this actually. This is what Kit Harington said about the Game of Thrones ending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang it, I can't post... Okay, I have to read it, unfortunately, because it won't let me... Actually, here, let's see. I'm going to read it and type it out.
Well, you can share
So
your
here's
screen.
what he said.
You can share your screen.
See, I thought I could do that. I thought I couldn't, but I thought I could. But I wish I could. I'm just going to...
Just share your screen.
Yeah, I'll share it.
Just share your...
All right.
Yeah, share your screen and I'll bring it on.
All right. Share my screen. Chrome tab. Tweets. Oh wait, no, this is not the tab I wanted, but let's just whatever, I'll go to my notifications. Let's just see some football stuff. And here it is. Kit Harington is at peace with Game of Thrones ending. You know that elated feeling you get when you realize that you haven't thought about your ex-girlfriend in a while and you go, I think I'm getting over them. I'm at that place now and I'm really happy. This is clearly just a part of it, but yeah.
I think he's more like saying, okay, I'm finally done with this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at his face here. It's just like, let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, this isn't him defending the Game of Thrones ending. It's just him saying he's finally glad it's over.
Yeah. Basically, Yezen's like saying this and this is...
You're unhappy with the ending. No, I question your basic writing credentials. This guy isn't a functional adult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop referring to Ben as an adult.
And there's only one professional writer on this group.
No, it's saying we are not referring to it as an adult. We're saying he is not a functional adult. He's a bratty 13-year-old in an adult in a 50-year-old man's body.
Don't insult 13-year-olds like that.
There's some dumb 13-year-olds.
All 13-year-olds are dumb.
That's true, most because you don't really mature to you're at least 15 or 14 or whatever.
He's the dumbest out of all of them. He's the dumbest 13-year-old in the body of him.
Yep. And now let's listen to Joy to the World because Yezen wasn't creative enough to find a better option.
Better non-copyright music.
Also be self-critical. Though I can't necessarily tell people what ideals to live by, I do suggest we try to understand the ideals present in the media we consume, and then make a choice whether or not to apply those messages in our own lives. And though it's up to each of us to choose what we like and what we can forgive, maybe we owe it to ourselves, when our favorite stories let us down, to remember all of the things that made them our favorite stories in the first place.
They were well written.
We like them because they were well written or because they're a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm. And seasons 5 through 7.
There's nothing wrong with a guilty
6.
pleasure. There's nothing wrong with a guilty pleasure. You don't have to pretend it's good. It's okay if it's bad. You can still like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Dragon Ball GT. It's shit, but I like it.
Alrighty. Well, we ended up going a little bit longer than I thought we would, but 2 hours is fine. 2 hours
Yeah,
is
we
fine.
managed to finish it.
Yeah. But it's just like we have so many issues, and you like Yokai and Neph haven't even seen the show other than the parts that I've shown it on you guys.
Yeah.
But it's basically just like this show was mismanaged behind
Well, you're
the
just
scenes.
showing me someone being an asinine schmuck that happens to be a director.
It's so asinine.
It's like, look at this director do something retarded. Look, he's snorting glue. It's like, well, I don't need to see the show to see that's probably pretty.
I mean, it's just asinine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, no, I hate being right all the time.
Yeah. That too.
So?
Yeah. Very simply, Yezen, I wrote my own response to Game of Thrones Season 8. It's coming out this week on Amazon, where I actually put thought and effort into having an undead army, and I have multiple battles. Also, it isn't just stabby, the guy goes down, the main necromancer dude goes down.
Hey, we should probably play on the John Hughes Game of Thrones ending before we finish off.
John Hughes?
What? Yeah, there's this John Hughes Game of Thrones ending. It's only like 1 minute and 54 seconds.
I don't know. We might get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
well, we'll be fine. I'll do a recording sometime of that, and we'll just put that up so that we can be safe. Because if we stream it, we're probably gonna get taken down because copyright bots. Though we were very lucky yesterday to be able to just watch quite a bit of the BBC Narnia movie, and just nothing happened.
It was so great too.
It's like they did not care one bit.
Nope.
Yeah, I would much rather watch the BBC Narnia than Game of Thrones season 8. Because unless I'm with other people where we can laugh, I will not watch that show.
I would rather watch Gate than watch Game of Thrones Season 8.
Yeah, I would.
And I do like Gate.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, everybody, I'm sorry to be something of a jerk, but unfortunately, I must say one final thing.